It's Saturday morning. I got my coffee. Let's check out this battle report.
War rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. As these two powerful forces prepare to clash, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun.
Beautiful models. Just all around beautiful models. Painted, everything about it.
This battle
Sculpts,
is brought to you by our
fantastic.
channel members and FLGS partners, Warpfire Minis and X-Planet. We'd also like to give a big shout out to Baron of Dice for their support of the channel.
Sick dice.
We've long been fans of their incredible designs
Look at
and
those
have even
Gets
ordered
dice.
custom dice ourselves, so we're super excited to get to showcase their awesome work.
Hello and welcome to Season of War. Tonight we are excited to bring you another game of Age of Sigmar. Mike, happy to have you all back on the channel. It's been a little bit, so excited for the game, and you're bringing an army not new to you, but a channel debut of having the Big Waaagh. Yeah, exactly that, first channel appearance.
Yeah, thank you. Pleasure to be back. I love Big Waaagh. It's fun.
Yeah.
I've been playing it for a while for myself, and then I got back into it a little bit recently. It was this GHB, and it turns out they score really, really well.
A couple of good battle tactics makes a big difference.
Yeah, once you get free ones, they give you those pity tactics, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, okay, I'll just stand near terrain. But no, Big Waaagh are great. I'm having a lot of fun with them. I've been trying a little bit different builds than what you usually see. Most people either have the Maw Crusher or the Mega Boss and the pigs and a lot more Iron Jaw stuff. I'm trying to run a more 50-50. I got a lot of Cruel Boy units. I got the Monster Killers in here, and the Sludge Raker, which I don't see many people take the Sludge Raker.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna skip forward a little bit.
Hold 2, hold more storing. The twist with this one is if you're charging or on the charge,
Every
your
step
models
is
count
forward,
as
right?
an additional body each. Not as big for me as it is for you because I'm low
It means
numbers.
that might.
I kind of want to get to the lists here. Okay, let's have a look here. So this is a Big Waaagh list. So Snatcher Boss and Sludge Raker Beast with Super Sneaky, more Payable Fast in. Sure, I think Snatcher Boss is really good in Big Waaagh. I think it's your go-to monster. Wargog Prophet, Glowing Tattoos, Hoarfrost. Sure, War Chanter, Get him beat. Get him beat. I don't think you can take Get him beat twice. I don't think you can take the same beat 2 times. So I think that's a small mistake. Swamp Collar Shaman plus Potgrot. Choky Mist, good spell. I don't see Blizzard though. I guess there's no Gobsprak here. Gut Rippas, Brutes, Hobgrots, and then Double Ragers and Monster Killers. Okay. Warlord and Acolytes, Grand Strategy Waaagh, Indomitable. Okay, so I mean like, So, I mean, if you were telling me like, hey, these are the models that I have, what do you think of my list? I would say, well, I see 2 units of Gut Rippers that I would love to see 1 unit of Gut Rippers, like a reinforced unit of Gut Rippers. The reason being because you have a reinforced unit of Brutes, so that's kind of one side. So you can have this reinforced unit of Gut Rippers, and then the Swamp Collar Shaman can sit behind them and give them the buffs that they require. Because what else really is the Swamp Collar Shaman doing? I mean, casting Choking Mist, right? Which is a really good spell. So, I mean, obviously, I don't like Gut Rippers, right? I don't like them in Cruel Boys. I don't like them in... I'm just not really a big fan. In Cruel Boys, what is that beeping? In Cruel Boys, I tend to run big yellows because I want to have, just like lots of Bolt Boys. If I'm going to play Cruel Boys, I'm going to play like monsters and shooting. I'm going to play the 2 things about the army that I really like, and Gut Rippers just don't really do anything for me. I'd much rather, like I was playing a game of Cruel Boys last night, and I had 3x6 Bolt Boys and 3 units of Hobgrots to act as screens for them, and then like a Break Boss, Snatcher Boss, Gobsprak. Gobsprak is obviously also really missing from this list, but I mean, we're playing up against Mega Gargants, so it's not like Gobsprak is necessary, right? So if this list was tailored just for this particular matchup, like that's cool. Get 'em beat is cool with the Ragers because they can run and charge, and then if they can 3d6, it means they're moving 4 inches, and then they have 4d6 worth of movement to get to the opponent. That's a lot, right? That's a lot of movement. So that's cool. So watching this, I'm gonna think to myself like, what are the Gut Rippers doing in this list? How are they functioning? Are they just getting wiped off the face of the earth? Cool. They could also be Ard Boys too, right? They could be Ard Boys too and save, what, 80 points? So they could be, instead of Gut Ripper, I mean, I guess you have the Hobgrots, right? So you would kind of mess with your battle line there. So I'm interested to see what the Gut Rippers do, what the Rages are like, because I think Rages are actually really good, but for me personally, I seem to have a really hard time fitting them into any of my lists. So I'm curious to see what they're like. And the Monster Killers. This is going to be the best possible instance for Monster Killers to be in the game, right? It's like everything on the opponent's team is a monster. So we're going to see how it goes. Super curious. Let's go.
To mix the weapon.
So I'm just gonna skip through this. Oh, did he mix the weapons of them? Let's see.
So I always kind of like want to take 1 unit of them. So I got 2 20 Gut Rippers, some Hobgrots I threw in the corner with super sneaky. I got my Sludge Raker, as I was mentioning earlier. So I have Fasten on him. He's my general, and I took super sneaky. I have the Morksai Pebble. Yep. And then I got everyone's favorite Homelander over here, Wargog Prophet with glowing tattoos. 2 War Chanters with Get 'em Beat, and I got the little Shaman with Choking Mist. I have him, and then I have Hoarfrost on my Wargog Prophet. A little bit different than what you usually see. Most people take pigs or just all the rages in the world. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this, and how about your army?
Awesome.
Did he say...
Because it's better. I have 2 units of 6 Ragers, and I actually opted to mix the weapons in the Ragers. Most people go with all the hackers. I went with some chains, some hackers. I also have the Monster Killers here. They offer a lot of utility. They're fairly cheap for what they are. They're 135 points. So I always kind of like want to take 1 unit of them. So I got 2 20 Gut Rippers, some Hobgrots.
So he's got 2 times 20 Gut Rippers. That's different than what's in the list.
Yes. So big thanks to Warpfire.
Okay, what do we got? The big broad stomp. Okay. 6 aboard on the general. On the Gatebreaker. Okay, cool.
And in addition to the Man Crushers then, I have 2 Gatebreakers here, one of which is my general. He's got the Amulet of Destiny for the 6-up ward. He's got Big Eater as a command trait so that my Gargants can kind of heal themselves up as they kill models, if they're wholly within 12 of him. And then King Broad, obviously the kind of namesake, who's super tanky in this. The sub-faction gives me some great abilities like destroying terrain and chucking it across the table.
Right, so he is playing the Army of Renown.
The 5-up board on King Broad and a cool monstrous action as well. So lots of cool tricks in this one, and it's seen some like decent competitive play and like had some success. So I'm excited to try to give it another run.
Yeah, I haven't played against Suns in a while, and they've always been like a fun army to play against in time.
Often
Fun to play against?
That one beginning of AOS
Less fun to
3 when
play.
I was like, oh look, I just win.
Yes, they were too good. But we got all destruction on the table, so we're gonna have fun no matter what. Mike, I did outdrop you here. As you said, you had a bunch of extra enhancements, so I was just a 3-drop here tonight, so gives me choice. And
are you sure 3 is lower than 11?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
We'll double check with Jaina, but pretty sure, to no one's surprise, Mike, I did have your first turn, and we'll jump into Big Waaagh turn 1.
These guys do such a great job with their videos. Like, look how good this is.
As
I
the
wish I
battle
could make
commences,
videos like this.
The Oryx generate 5 Waaagh points and use Here We Go.
I just don't
Here
have
We
the
Go
time
to
for all this
generate one
editing.
more.
I'm gonna go with magical domination for my battle tactic, and onto your start hero phase.
I'll go for just a heroic leadership with King Broad. And I did it.
The Swamp Kala Shaman gives his poison to the unit of Gut Rippers so they deal mortals on 5-ups, then also casts Mystic Shield on the Snatcha boss.
I gotta get.
I might have gone for the shield on the Gut Rippers too.
1 on the brutes, and 1 on this unit of ragers.
I guess he's gonna throw stuff at you, right?
Which goes off with 11.
That's fine. Frost on Gut Rippers is fine. A lot of meat. I wonder if he's wholly within 12 with both of his units of Gut Rippers. Probably. Looks like he probably is.
Claiming 2 objectives and poised to take the Gargants head on, the Big Waaagh complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Beautiful models. Well, nicely painted. Really like it.
So, simple turn. Just move up, jockey. I wanted my whole army within the 12-inch aura.
Yeah, there you go.
For the Morkside Pebble and for the poison buff. I did have to move up. My plan is to still stay fairly tight with my castling, so that way when Jordan gets into me, I at least get multiple units being pulled in.
Yeah.
It'll spike my Waaagh
Yep,
points.
classic Big Waaagh
as
strat.
well as you can only activate so many times.
Yes, exactly. And you spread out your unit to put your debuff across the
Yes.
field.
So I have essentially up to here for the threat range. So he kind of has to hit me over here,
The edges.
which is actually good for me because then it means he's not coming close to my other stuff. So if he wants to commit in here, he has to hope I don't roll a 3 up.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't make it appetizing. Did everything you needed to do scoring-wise, so
Yeah, it's Big Wagh's an interesting army. I'm going to stand around for a couple turns.
yeah.
Here's a really interesting thing. If you were to sit down with, like, if you were going to plan to play against an opponent, you know, if it's like, hey, I'm playing, you know, Gargants, what do you want to, you know, you can tailor your list to beat me. In Orcs and in most of their armies, there's lots of different things that you could do. But if you're playing Gargants, there's not. Not really. You're kind of playing the same list all the time. That's why I'm not really a big fan of Suns. It's too, like, I don't want to play, unless I'm playing like in a league or practicing for like a tournament or something. Like, I'll play the same army over and over and over again and get really like honed with it, right? Just repetition. But if I'm just playing casual games, like, I'm gonna throw a different army on the table every single time, right? It's like I'll play Ironjawz, Big Waaagh, Cruel Boys, I'll play Gits, I'll play Squigs, Trogs, and I'm putting together Sylvaneth just to play for fun.
Yes, that's true, because I kind of want to do the same thing, but I think you have the tactic advantage, I think, so I have to be smart about what I do there. But yeah, I guess that's it, Mike, and we'll jump into Sons of Behemat, turn 1.
Man, they do such a good job with their
The
editing.
Sons of Behemat ready themselves for battle, choosing Surround and Destroy as their battle tactic.
I'll go for heroic leadership with King Broad. He fails it.
I'm going to try to get more Waaagh points. I get one more.
Without much to do in the hero phase, King Broad chants for Shatter the Mountains, granting 2 inches of extra movement to the Gargants. One Man Crusher uses at the double to push the edge of the northeastern objective, helping to secure the Sun's battle tactic.
Strut and Destroy seems fine. You don't want to commit everything in the beginning anyway.
The Gatebreaker is going to smash it all to bits. I am destroying this terrain piece. So D6 attacks for 3. He'll use all-out attack.
I'm just going to all defense the brutes, so I will spend a command point for that.
Sounds good. So I'll be on 3s and 3s. 2 hits. Nothing. Then he'll just do his normal throwing. 3s. 2s.
Nope.
Okay, this guy's going to hurl his boulder. 2s. Yes.
While the Gut Rippers use Inspiring Presence, the Sons of Behemat are left fuming, having failed to connect with their hurled terrain.
Nice cow.
Well, turn 1 for the Sons of Behemat wasn't much more exciting, but a little bit more exciting because we threw some rocks and some boulder and some terrain that I actually have to remove.
Yeah, get that out of there. It's
even
gone.
though it didn't go far.
It's too big.
It was too big, and he missed with throwing that terrain piece. He missed with the hurled boulder, but then I did connect and kill 2 Gut Rippers.
Yeah.
So first blood, we'll take that claim to fame. I almost screwed myself over at the start of the turn and game. I went for the battle tactic of Surround and Destroy. I positioned my Man Crusher here and another one here so that they could go get those 2 board edges outside of my territory with the intent of having this guy over here. What I didn't realize, again, it's the first time I've run Man Crushers in a long time, forgot they're moving 8. I was thinking they were faster than that. So I actually had to use King Broad's Prayer to give me the extra movement to actually make that possible. So I was very close to not happening. thought I was being smart, playing ahead for my battle tactics, didn't double check my movement characteristics, so
game is hard.
Coming up big with the prayer at least to save my butt. Got the man crushers on one side of the board, the big guys on the other.
I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those games where we just jockey for 3 turns and then whatever happens, happens.
That's the thing, Ro. For me, you have a lot of damage. So anytime you go in, if you can counterpunch with the rest of your army then, I'm going to lose whatever I throw in.
I think
you can score battle tactics really well, so potentially if we do the stalemate for a bit, have a bit of an advantage in that regard. So
I think the Gargants just got to go in as fast as possible.
Right now, I don't have an opening yet.
They're gonna have a harder time scoring points.
4.
And this is where I say, have fun.
Okay, yes. No surprise. We'll jump into Sons of Behemat.
Yeah, just like charge with everything, because then he can't focus fire you down, and I don't know. Seems like that's maybe the way to go.
Not quite sure
just
how to handle the timid Oryx.
everything charge.
The Sons of Behemat battle tactic is intimidate the invaders.
It's fine.
Heroic leadership with King Broad. He fails it.
More Waaagh points. 3 up. I get 2.
King Broad fails his chant for bless and suffers 1 mortal wound. Then he and his companions trudge across the battlefield, landing just a little bit closer to the Auric horde.
So this turn, I will pop my Morkside Pebble.
Smash it all bits first. Yes. 4. 1 attack.
Ugh, D6 attacks, man.
Misses.
After missing with the thrown Wildwood,
Boo.
the Gatebreaker also misses with his Boulder, though the second
Boo.
Gatebreaker connects
That
and deals
sucks.
2 damage to the Ragers.
Sons of Behemat turn 2, and Mike, you smartly gave away the turn. You used your cunning brain today and put me in a position where if I go in, you're getting a clap back, potentially a double, and that could literally be game over.
Yes.
You're generating wall points super fast. Again,
I don't mind going
I think
first
this
with
is
Big
gonna be a
Waaagh.
tough matchup. I'm scoring here, which is good. Tried to throw some rocks, didn't take any guys down. I was hoping to kill a few of the Ragers just to kind of minimize your punch. Because we are close now, I had to kind of overextend for intimidate the invaders. Again, said that off the top too. Playing the battle tactic game.
Here's like, this is where I always think to myself how like some armies that have good battle tactics and some armies that don't have good battle tactics, it's more than just being able to actually score, right? It's also sometimes you have to take actions that you don't really want to take in order to score the battle tactics. That has a huge impact on the game. A huge impact on the game. I mean, let's have a look here. Battle tactics for Sons of Behemat army. Let's look at this. Pick 1 objective on the battlefield that is not within your territory. You complete this tactic if that objective was kicked away and is wholly within your territory at the end of the turn. Okay, so that means you have to be running that particular Gargant. And there's going to be some maps where that's not going to be very easy to do, right? And I think it also comes down to dice rolls as well. So, hold on. Let's just do this. This is just better. Where did it go? Battle tactics. Right. Wrecking Crew. You complete this tactic if an enemy faction train feature was destroyed this turn. Well, guess what? Lots of people don't have them. And even if they do, they get to position them knowing what your army is, so they're going to put them way in the back because everything you have is a monster. So, not great so far. Man Skittles, you complete this tactic at the end of the turn if a friendly War Stomper used its Hurl Body ability. An enemy model was slain by the first part of this ability, and an enemy battle line unit was picked for the second part of this ability and suffered any mortal wounds. Yuck. Yuck. Not great. So it has to be a War Stomper. It has to be the Hurled Body ability. Where is it? Right. So pick 1 enemy within 3. Okay, so you get to add 2 or 1 or whatever, double the wounds characteristic, so you have to go into something that's like 1 or 2 wounds. 3 wounds maybe max, because now you need a 4-up. If it's 3 wounds and you're at the top of your table, it's a 4-up. Ugh. And then on another 4-up. Yuck! What a terrible tactic. Unless I'm missing something here, right? But it's like 2 4-ups in a row. Yeah, I'm going to stake my battle my 2 points on that in a turn. Fury of Titans, you complete this tactic if you carry out the Beast, Grapple, Earthshake, Roar, and Colossal Slam, Monstrous Rampage this turn. So you have to, if you carry out you have to have all 3 of them. Like, I can't imagine that that's very good. Right, so the Roar is a 3-up. Earth-Shaking Roar and Colossal Slam, so it's not Roar. But it's all three of them. Let's see. Where are the... So it's all three of these. So you have to have three of your Mega Gargants, and in some lists, it's all of your Mega Gargants. So this is putting you again in a position where even maybe you don't want to commit all three, but you have to commit all three because of what you're doing. So let's see. I'm just gonna look. So on a 3-up, right? Like, do you have to successfully do them? I think so. Earth-Shaking Roar seems like you don't have to do anything. But you have to have a wounds characteristic of 1 or 2 within 3 inches, and you have to roll 2d6, and you have to roll higher than their bravery. Good luck against death armies. Colossal Slam, pick an enemy monster. Like, what a terrible battle tactic. Like, it's just bad. You complete this tactic if you carry out the Beast, Grapple, Earth-Shaking Roar, and Colossal Slam monsters rampages this turn. I mean, do they have to be successful? Even let's if they do, F tier tactic. If they don't, B tier tactic. Because you still have to have all three of your guys within range. This is the best one so far, and it's still bad. Splat. Pick one enemy hero. You complete this tactic if that hero is slain by wounds caused by an attack made with thrown rocks, hurled debris, or hurled boulder during this turn. So if it's D6 attacks, that's not very great. Like, you're betting so much on, like, these are B tactics best. Colossal Violence, pick one friendly Mega Gargant. You complete this tactic if you carried out the Titanic Duel Monsters Rampage with the unit during this turn, and the enemy monster picked as the target was slain by attacks. Gross, 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 gross. So again, the idea is that books with bad tactics are not only have difficulties succeeding their tactics, but they also are forced into positions that they don't want to be in an attempt to achieve their bad tactics. Yuck. Please do not tell me that book battle tactics are the way to go. Like, I can't see it. I can't see it.
It's gonna be
Rant
tough,
over.
I was already like, well, I have to do Intimidate because...
Because I have no other options.
Now, maybe I could have set up to do like a Let Into the Maelstrom. Didn't feel like the right choice, maybe. There's a lot of meat over there, a lot of, big green muscles, so we're not feeling too confident right now, but being patient, not overextending, trying to be a little bit reserved, hoping that an opportunity presents itself throughout the game. Best we can do, I feel, so.
In between the rounds, I did roll my 6 for Waaagh points, so I'm looking at that 18 Waaagh points I'm sitting at right now. I was like, okay, I just charged 2 units in. Hitting wounds on 2s is pretty much everything, and it'll be good times.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just looking at what battle tactics I have. Is going to be take that, you suckers, and just wait and try to receive a charge afterwards.
But yeah, I guess with that, we can just jump into Big Waaagh, turn 2.
Yeah.
Bottom of 2.
As the Gargant threat creeps closer to their ranks,
Threat
the Big Waaagh
wall.
battle tactic is led into the Maelstrom. A Gatebreaker uses their finest hour, while the Waaagh Prophet fails to generate any Waaagh points with Here We Go, Here We Go.
I'm going to put the Elixir on him so he has +1 save.
Okay, yeah.
Frenzy of Violence will go on these 2 units here.
You mean Violent Fury?
Hoarfrost.
That must be what he means.
8, 9. So Hoarfrost will go on the Brutes. I'm going to put it on their big weapons, the Hackers.
But don't they already have 2?
They will hit on 3.
The Waaagh Prophet fails
Sorry.
to cast Mystic Shield.
Did he just use Hoarfrost on the Brute's attack? But don't they hit on 2s?
Hoarfrost with the guy was an 8, 9. So Hoarfrost will go on the Brutes. I'm going to put it on their big weapons, the Hackers. They will hit on 3.
The Waaagh Prophet
like a
fails
weird
to
choice.
cast Mystic Shield, though the Swamp Caller Shaman casts an Arcane Bolt and Choking Mist.
I'm going to drop it right in the middle.
He must be
of
the
those 3
Locust.
guys, so they can no longer run and are -1 attack.
That's really strong against Gargants.
After the Brutes fail their charge with mighty destroyers, the Orruks steadily make their way closer to their foes, and the Waaagh Prophet uses at the double.
Yeah, Gorhak has hit on 3s already.
One War Chanter uses Alright Get 'em to charge on 3d6, then deals 5 damage to the Man Crusher in combat. Next, the Man Crusher deals 7 damage to the Gut Rippers, who deal just 1 mortal in return, then use Inspiring Presence. As the Aurochs get in position for an epic clash, the big Waaagh...
Here's another reason why I'm not a big fan of Gut Rip, is you can see over here, this is where the Sludge Raker is, and this is where the Gut Rip has had to go off to, and now they're not within range anymore, right? So they're not... Like, if you're going to tell me, like, okay, so... You remember before with the list I was saying that I would rather them be reinforced? Well, if there's 2 units of 4 or 20 each, like, that's fine. So... But they're not within range. So, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Gut Rippers. But if that's what your plan is, if you're going to have, like, a reinforced unit of Gut Rippers, like, in Big Waaagh, I can see Hoarfrost on a reinforced unit of Gut Rippers. I could see, like, okay, like, we're going to have Rend. So that's good. And then we're going to have, like, all these mortals. And so, like, that seems fine to me. Like, that seems, like, much better. I think that's probably when they're at their best. Everything's at their best in Big Waaagh, right?
As the Aurochs get in position for an epic clash, the big Waaagh complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
All right, not the best turn for me, but I was able to make the best out of a bad situation. So I wasn't in a good position to get my monster killers in here. My hopes were to get in close, stop the roar, one of your roars or something, where you could stop my, like, just make me take a battle shock test, and then do the fights last on something, and then just commit into something else. But because I didn't roll the charges to those guys, I wasn't comfortable going in there. Although you're -1 attack, I would prefer not going.
When you have multiple units, you really want to control the activation.
Yes. So instead, I got my 3d6 charge here into this guy with the War Chanter. So that's 1 hero in.
Yep.
Charged the Gut Rippers in. Didn't get too many in as a low charge is what I wanted.
Yep.
I just hoped War Chanter didn't spike, which he didn't.
Yes, it didn't kill the Man Crusher.
Yeah. Because War Chanter can kill a Man Crusher.
Yeah,
Because
could have thrown a wrench in your battle tactic.
Yeah, War Chanter's good.
That just inspired here to keep him around, and at this point I'm kind of playing a little bit for the double, but it's expected. I positioned the Wargog Prophet in just like the scariest possible position. Let's see if he can have a staring contest with a Gargant and just take him down. And
Notable here, although you don't have 10 models on that objective, because of the mission where you count as extra for charging, that actually allowed you to take that point.
If I had to kill this guy, at that point I would have had to throw in the brutes and just hope they live. Right now, it's coming down to really important priority. Luckily, if I win this priority, I have a battle tactic I get to do, which is very easy. It's called Sneak Up.
And notable, so that's the Cool Boys one where you just are near terrain. But you were saying during the turn,
the more Cruel Boys you play, the harder it gets.
This terrain away, your guys weren't able to do it. So
playing like Gobsprak makes it so easy.
Battle tactic-wise this turn.
Yes. So prio, a 1,
double ones
as well.
You break ties.
I break ties. So at this point, I'll take the turn, Mike, and try and get some damage out. Well, again, this is like the little opportunity, like we're in glimmer of hope. So yeah, we're gonna jump into Sons of Behemat, turn 3.
As the Gargants relish the chance to retaliate, the Sons of Behemat battle tactic is led into the Maelstrom.
It's probably fine.
I'm gonna go Finest Hour on King Broad. Let's do it.
I will be Finest Houring on my Sludge Raker.
King Broad chants for Pummel all to dust, granting an additional attack to each Gargant's main weapon. After the Gatebreaker moves close, the Brutes redeploy but move just 2 inches.
I would want to kill that Wargog, yo.
This guy is going to smash it all to bits.
Okay.
Yes. For D6 shots. 2. 1 hit. And 3s. Yes, first one.
Damage?
D3 plus 3 for 6.
After connecting with the tower, the Gatebreaker throws his boulder and deals another 4 damage to the Brute Ragers.
Yep, 3s and 2s, run 3, 4 damage, yep. The other Gatebreaker's going to throw his hurled boulder there too. Hits. No. So I'll do the 2 man crushers at the Brutes.
This one. Oh, both the 2 in the back, right?
Yep, yep.
All right, I'm going to all defensive Brutes.
So it's throwing rocks. They're going to be 4s and 3s. 1 hits. Doesn't wound.
Yeah, like the Suns just
While
don't.
the last man crusher
I don't know,
misses
man.
the War Chanter, the Gatebreakers and King Broad charge in, dealing 10 mortals, 3 mortals, and 7 mortals on impact, respectively.
Gut Rippers first for 3 mortals, and then to the hero for 2 mortals, and then the other man crusher is getting in and dealing 2 more mortals. Oh, one mortal there, sorry. Broad's gonna stomp the weird knob.
The Brute. It takes 1.
Okay.
One Gatebreaker is stopped from performing a monstrous action by the Monster Killer's tough grot to swallow, while a man crusher roars at the War Chanter.
I will roar your Gatebreaker here.
Cool.
Nope. I'm going to fight last your Gatebreaker. Yes.
So King Broad will do all out attack. I'll do my Death Grip and my Stomp on him. Rend 3 on the hammer. And the
Rend
hammer's
3.
gonna go into the Brutes.
Is it going to be run 3 this turn or run 4 this turn?
Rend 3 this turn. So we'll go Obelisk into the Brutes. So 2s and 2s here. Rend 3,
Go
5
Victor.
damage. Hits. Wounds, Rend 2 into the Word Dog
Comes through.
for 1 damage.
Takes 1.
The War Chanter fights next and deals 5 damage to the wounded man crusher. Then a Gatebreaker attacks and completely wipes out a unit of Brute Ragers. The Gut Rippers move in and finish off one man crusher, then deal 2 damage to another.
I'll go into the War Chanter.
War Chanter?
One man crusher then deals 2 damage to the War Chanter, while a unit of Gut Rippers manage to deal 3 damage to a Gatebreaker. Then another man crusher finishes off the War Chanter.
Yeah, I feel like maybe led into the Maelstrom wasn't the right tactic there. Like I'll do it with the Mega Boss on foot or with a Sludge Raker, but like losing Violent Fury is a huge buff, and it has a huge range. So losing that kind of hurts.
As the Brutes pile in, the Gatebreaker uses all-out defense, but the Brutes deal an impressive 28 damage.
Yep,
He's still
that'll
alive
happen.
with 7 wounds left.
All right.
The Sludge Raker then attacks and Gut Rippers manage to deal 3 damage to a Gatebreaker. Then another man crusher finishes off the War Chanter. As the Brutes pile in, the Gatebreaker uses all-out defense, but the Brutes deal an impressive 28 damage.
We just saw this. What just happened?
Still alive.
Oh my god, glitch in the
with
Matrix.
7 wounds left.
All right.
The Sludge Raker
Yeah,
then
Brutes
attacks
are
and
great.
finishes off the Gatebreaker, dealing 18 mortal wounds of his own. Then one Brute flees to Battle Shock.
So like,
Sons of Behemat, turn 3 was a good bloody turn here on both sides, though, unfortunately. As we saw, it went in, tried to do a bunch of stuff. I actually expected you to try and slow King Broad down.
As soon as I saw 4 attacks, and I know you need to kill
Yes.
the Waaagh Prophet.
Yeah.
He is too much of a liability. Broad does not have his ward now.
What I had hoped to do, and again, smartly by you, I wanted to use the monstrous action to redeploy this guy. So I didn't actually want to tighten it with the Sludge Raker,
Yeah.
but then you not only stopped him from doing that monstrous action, you also made him fight last so he couldn't even like pile away
Yeah,
to like get him
I don't know.
with the Sludge Raker. So that was like,
it's like, okay, you stopped me from doing a monstrous action. Fine, whatever. Like, it's just like, wouldn't it just be better as 5 Brutes for like this pretty much the same amount of points? Like, wouldn't just more Brutes be better? I don't know.
went from like ooh, I've got a cool trick here, possibly also jumping over and like trying to finish off the Wargog as he passes over. All those things, you know, their ability to kind of neutralize that play, like, you know, right in the middle, or stop me from doing that, and then obviously led to his death. So not the best
Yeah, I don't know.
outcome overall. I had a good turn though. Did a bunch of damage, killed a unit of your Ragers, killed half your Brutes, and then a bunch of Gut Rippers. But I was hoping that like then those units would all kind of be crippled to Battle Shock. But you rolled pretty good, so only lost 1 Brute between the 3 units, which is not the end of the, like, was hoping for more, but you could have lost 4 there.
Yes, I could have lost a lot more Brutes. You rolled 2 1s to wound. That -1 attack came in clutch.
Oh my gosh, even let alone I could have just done more damage, and then that more would have.
Yes.
Choking Mist is so
another
good.
one of his attacks through, and that's 2 more Brutes dead.
Yep.
And then 2 more fleeing, like.
Yeah. And then the Sludge Raker decided not to be a slouch and
Oh
did
my gosh, he popped
a
off.
humble 20 damage.
Yeah, made the Gargants and made me, or punished me for my mistake. Again, I knew about the ability.
Why isn't the Wargog
To
dead?
do it into Broad, and I was like, okay, Broad will be okay. I got a little overeager with his charge and put him into range where I could have kept him back and been outside of the 6 inches, and the play would have unfolded perfectly. So I wouldn't have minded if you did it to Broad at that point, because Broad was relatively safe. He was finest hour, and you're not getting that many Brutes into him. So would have felt much better there. Still could have done an all-out defense, but yeah, trying to get it overeager with the charge to try to impact mortals everywhere ended up costing me. And what did I get out of it? Like, I killed an extra Brute maybe because of it. Mistake there for sure, and I'm. You know,
I thought for
already
sure
paid
the
price,
Wargog was
but
going to be dead.
We do control all the objectives I
Like,
see right now.
I thought that Amada would charge into the Wargog and pile away from the Brutes, or just charge and end up away from the Wargog, so that you could just fight the Wargog. But I don't know.
Now, so
Maybe I
we're
missed something.
Trying to fight on the scoreboard, but again, you've got lots of damage still. A prio away from.
Well, I get a turn now.
Exactly, but I mean, even after that, still, then it's like could be game over with a brutal.
I'm still in an interesting predicament with my battle tactics right now.
Yep.
Because
I want to see the Ragers get in
I
there.
have the possibility this turn to do, say, like bait and trap, retreat 2, charge 2, very doable. The other option I do have right now is I take that Yasuka's and kind of just like run away anyway. But if I'm gonna run away, I might as well charge with 2 units.
Yes. Yep.
And then, so I'll probably end up doing a bait and trap this turn. Keep my.
I don't think I've ever done a
Do
bait
what
and
you
trap.
can, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll try to pick them up with the Ragers, right? The Ragers won't have the War Chanter buff, but the Brutes will.
Yeah, because the
And
War
that's
Chanter
a
was
big one.
sacrificed,
I
right?
can
Like
see how many
that's
Waaagh points
not
we get
great.
right now.
Yeah, we'll jump into Big Waaagh turn 3.
I wish I could just review games from
After
LVO.
maxing out their Waaagh points, the big Waaagh battle tactic is bait and trap. The Swamp Caller Shaman casts Mystic Shield on the Sludge Raker and also gives him his poison, allowing the Sludge
Yeah,
Raker
that's
to
fat.
deal mortal wounds on 5s.
It's not the worst thing in
Not
the world.
quite satisfied with his own contributions, the Swamp Caller then casts Choking Mist on King Broad
Yeah,
and the
of
Man
course.
Crushers.
Just keep
Making a
casting
bold
that spell.
decision, the Wargog Prophet then aims his Wargog mask at King Broad.
Here we go.
Eye laser into Broad. Goes off for 1. Fails. I take 6 as.
Nope, the
there
first
goes.
one's free. The first one's
I
free.
take 3 and die.
Oh, the first one's
No
free
jackpot
though.
today.
You don't take damage on the first
Heroic
one.
action will be I will try to get a command point on my general, which I do not get.
I'll do heroic leadership on King Broad. Failing.
Yeah. War chant obviously goes on the Brutes. I'm going to use 1 to Mighty Destroyers.
Come on, Ragers. Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather,
Let's
instead of Beast
charge
Killers,
the
I'd rather
Ragers.
have more Ragers.
They are going 13 inches.
Huzzah.
I'll charge Monster Killers. They are going 8 inches.
I have a hard time finding Ragers
I'm
in
going
my
to
list, and
roar.
they're actually good.
Yep. I will see if I can stop his rampage. I do. Does he fight last? He does.
In
Yeah,
the combat
sure.
phase, the Sludge Raker deals 23 damage to King Broad
Yeah,
and
that'll-
triggers
yeah.
an onslaught of attacks. As the Brutes deal 27 damage, the Beast Killers deal 24, and the Ragers
What?
deal another 22 wounds.
Right.
Cool.
So how much damage
a
did
lot.
Broad take? 96?
96.
Hey.
Overkill. Ragers are sick. Brutes are sick. Sludge Raker's sick.
So that was a fun turn.
Yeah, yeah.
I did really bad things to King Broad there. Sludge Raker's just having a ball today.
Yeah, you didn't stop when he went down.
No. Totaled up to 96 damage.
Yeah, not bad.
Sludge Raker did
And that was without a Violent
22
Fury
this
buff.
turn?
Sludge Raker did 23, yes.
23, yeah, up from last turn.
Yep.
Then the Monster Killers rolled an absolutely disgusting
All the
9
sixes
mortal
with the
wounds.
Sludge Raker, yeah.
Yeah, nine sixes, so 18 mortal wounds.
Yes,
Just-
yeah, that was brutal.
But the Monster Killers are really shining this matchup. It's a monster matchup,
Yes.
but
But it shows the strength of that unit. I mean,
135 points.
that would have been that same amount of damage to anything else, just from their attacks. So if you think of them just in the list for their attacks alone, they can hit way above their weight.
Yeah.
The monster stuff is like bonus.
Yeah, so I would get 3 points this turn. I only have the 1. I had to retreat here. Even if I did pile the Monster Killers on here, I would not be able to take it.
You would be actually 8 bodies would have been 16 on the
Yeah,
charge.
the risky play, I wasn't sure how much damage I was going to do to Broad. I wasn't sure if I was going to make him strike last. But the risky play was actually throw the Ragers here. If I fight last Broad,
Try to also take out the man crushers.
yes.
Yeah,
But,
take those
but
objectives.
it's a risk because I'm throwing stuff into Broad. If I roll 1-1, you backbreak the what's it called, the Sludge Raker, or
Yeah.
you
Not to mention a pile in. If you like here, you did a full surround, but if those brutes aren't there and I pile away 3 inches, and you're getting less attacks in, that's huge too,
Yeah.
right?
So it's a guarantee kill. I did 1 damage with the Wargod Prophet,
Yeah.
and then he has just exploded. It was his time. But I mean, he held King Broad, and he didn't kill the brutes as a result.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for that. Luckily, my brutes are in position to receive the War Chanter buff for next turn,
Yeah.
which I will probably be throwing that on the Ragers because the Ragers have the highest chance of killing that guy.
Yeah. Well, Mike, there's a priority roll.
A 6.
So
I
then,
need a 6.
I
He's
need a
gonna-
6 to take it.
No.
right,
home
so
field
Cruel
advantage
Boys just
today.
double, or
Not
the,
today.
sorry, Big Waaagh just double turns here. Right, and then it's going to be like, yeah, sure, wait for it, lad. So there's a free tactic right there. And then, right, throw our buffs around. And then, let's see, yeah, like move up and just start, just chew, yeah. Like there it goes, you see the 2 Gargants that are there, and then they just get lifted. Right. And then Cruel Boys or some Gut Rippers are just standing back there as a screen. I can't tell if these models here are actually in the game or if they've been removed. But looks like they pretty much removed them. Yeah, I don't know. This game is kind of, like, it's kind of difficult to review and see, like, what, I don't know. Beast Killers just don't do enough for me, I feel. They're just not, like, bringing enough value. It's like, okay, like, when they're at their best, they're okay. That's how I feel about them. In their best matchups, they're okay. But they could just be other things. Like 3 Bolt Boys is better, for example, and cheaper. Yeah, okay, big Gatebreaker comes in, hits some things. All right. I mean, I guess the points are kind of even. Final 25, right, because he's going to null score for a round. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have nothing really, to be honest, nothing really to add here. It's just like, yeah, watch my How to Win with Big Waaagh video. Like, that'll tell you everything you need to know. Like, subscribe, and Waaagh.